Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me singing? Hey, my friends. It's Tiffany. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday Live. We're going to have an interesting day today because Susie's not here. All right. Woo-hoo. All right, it looks like, okay, yay. Hi, Barb. So glad that you're here today. So I have kind of an interesting deal today. I'm going to see if I can pull this a little bit closer. Susie's not here. So I am going to try, aloha, Shauna. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the feed. I do have Leanne also helping me and sending questions and that type of thing. So might have to be a little more patient than usual today because Susie's usually right on the feed. So, hey everybody. Oh, I'm so glad that you all are joining me. I'll just, a couple minutes, we'll wait while people pop on. Sorry I missed last week. I was out roaming around Utah and Colorado with my husband, and we had a great time. We had great weather. So I'm happy to be back in the studio today, but we did have a really great time. I did post up a couple of pictures. He's much better at posting than I am. Like, you have to get to the top of a hill and sort of stand at an angle to get your phone, and he's better about that. So I know some of you follow him and saw some of the pictures that he posted up as well. So thanks for following along on our trip. It is Tuesday. Let's see. Someone on Facebook says, I have a whole new respect for you after seeing Park's pictures of you too. Wow. We did this thing called the Via Ferrata for those of you who haven't seen it. And I'm just going to talk for a second while I wait for you to pop on. And it's a climbing method that's used. It was originally in the Alps where you literally hike along these ledges, geologically different rocks and sand deteriorate and leave these little ledges around the edge of the mountain. And so you literally hike on that. And where you can't hike on it, there are these metal rungs that have been attached to the rock that you can climb over. It was really cool. So I did put some pictures on the Totally Tiffany Instagram, I think, maybe on Facebook, and there's much on Park's page. All right, my friends, let's get started. Welcome, Tuesday Tribe. Welcome to Tuesday Live. Really happy to be back in the studio today with you as well. Looks like kind of a short day, not a lot of questions, but I did have a few questions from last week that I was hoping, or the last time I was on, I guess, that I was hoping to answer as well. So let's start with the regular business. Today, all of the paper handlers and the coordinating pockets are on sale for 20% off, as well as all of the paper takers. So I sent Leanne a couple of links. I hope I sent them. Sometimes I do this email to Leanne, so she has all our links, and then I forget to hit send. So Leanne, if you didn't get that email, let me know, and I will run over to my computer and push the button and send it to you. All the paper takers also on sale for 20% off. So I thought I'd just talk a couple of minutes about paper organization and kind of the main things that happen with paper. The first thing is that it's really overwhelming because we have so much of it. So if you followed along, you've heard me say this before, work in small batches as you're organizing your paper so that you don't get overwhelmed, right? Start with just a couple. Excuse me. See if I can carry on here. Start with just a couple of inches of paper and sort that start to finish, because then you get that sense of, okay, I can do this. I'm doing it a little bit at a time and I'm seeing the benefit of it. Another really common question is, should I put all of my paper into paper takers or paper handlers? How do I decide when it should go in that, when it should go in your scrap rack? For those of you who are using a scrap rack, or maybe you're using some other tool. I know some of you are using Scrap Masters to hold a total collection of things together, or pizza boxes or whatever you have your 4-section system. For me, the defining factor for how much paper, like, is will it fit in 1 or 2 supersized singles in my scrap rack? So a theme like St. Patrick's Day, I don't have a ton of birthday stuff. Those smaller themes, all the paper are right, they're right in my scrap rack in that supersized single in that category. But if you have a ton of paper, like travel is always what I use, or a lot of you have Disney, Christmas, that's going to fill up an entire scrap rack or fill up multiple scrap masters, however you're organizing. So just keep that paper. If you have lots of it, it's going to go in a paper handler or paper storage box. And if you just have 10 or 20 sheets, then you're just going to put it right into your scrap rack or whatever sorting tool that you're using, right? The idea is that you can pull out that one section and have everything there. But sometimes with paper, that's crazy, right? We just have too much. So then you're just going to stick with the 4-section system for that. So paper handlers, all 3 sizes on special today, along with the pockets. So if you're using the pockets to keep your scraps with your paper, and also as dividers, they're all on the website today, and they're all 20% off, as well as the paper takers. Now, I did have a couple questions about paper takers. So they all fit the paper of size 5x7, 6x6, 8x8. I don't think the 8.5x11 is back in stock yet, but 12x12. And they're all a little bit roomy as well. So they're great for all of those basic sizes of paper that you're going to use. The more common question that I get is, which ones did I use for markers? So this is the 5x7, and you can see the old Colorista, the blue ones, Copic, the old Spectrum, they all fit in there really nicely, which leads me to the next question I got was, is the new Colorista marker the same as the old Colorista marker? And I think, who asked that question? Lisa Sabo, I wonder if there is a difference between the older Colorista I got from HSN and the new Colorista, and there is. So this is the new one, and the new one is obviously different size-wise, right? So this is a Terry buddy bag. This is a 5x7 paper taker that fits. This also fits in the Deborah, but they're just a longer, thinner marker, a little bit different. So new Colorista, definitely a different size and shape than the old Colorista. Okay, let's see. What's the best? Shirley Baxter-Mont asks, what is the best storage solution for acrylic paints? Totally depends how you're using them, where you're using them, all that stuff. I have moved all of my acrylic paints into the Slide Stash and Store 1 or 2, right? So this is the 2, this is the 1. So they both work great. What's the difference? You can see the height of at the back. So this is much taller, right? You can see how the paint, and I put mine in upside down just so I can see the paint colors easily. But so it just depends whether you want the height or not. So this is the number 1. This is the number 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They both hold 10 bottles of paint. And obviously you can see I have mine organized by color. Why am I using these over other options? I think I showed all of you last week. I am regularly taking my paint collection to our Sassy Crafters Art Club every month. This is an easy way to transport them because I can fit, I still have it right here actually, 2, 4, I can fit 6 of these trays in the Lois tote or Cindy tote, and it's perfectly flat, and then I can stack other stuff on top of it if I need to. Usually I take my paintbrush tool tower, pop that in, and then my mat, a couple other things. But so I like that. I like the way it slides on and off the shelf. It really, like, I can maximize out a shelf space like this, especially by color, right? So it makes it easy if they're labeled on the front by color. So that's what I'm currently using, and it works great for me for how I craft. it's transportable. However, previously I was using the Stephanie Buddy bag. Now you can also use the Leanne Buddy bag. The Leanne gets 3 more bottles in it than the Stephanie. Why do I like the Stephanie? Because it has the individual compartments in it. So it just keeps everything a little neater, a little tidier. And when you pull a paint out, the other paints don't tend to tip over because of the individual boxes. So for acrylic paint storage, and depending, again, how you're storing it, where you're storing it, all of those things, Stephanie or the number 1 or number 2 slide, stash, and store. Another question that was on the last feed that I looked at, was when is the new 10-inch slide, stash, and store coming out? I think right now it's scheduled for early spring of 2021. 2023. My best guess is that it will be on HSN. It's possible as early as January. So the big January HSN show could be the release of the 10-inch slide, stash, and store, but I'll be sure and keep all of you updated on when that comes out. So these are 13 inches. And even if your shelf isn't 13 inches, you can let that hang off the shelf on the back or the front. It doesn't matter. It's got enough stability in there. So if you have a 10-inch shelf, you can still use these. If that's the case, why are we doing the 10-inch long? Because a lot of people have 10-inch deep cabinets, upper cabinets, and it's a great way to store in those, but obviously you can't close the cabinet door with your 13-inch boxes, so we're doing that smaller version. We're also working on a, I could sneak peek it to you. What do you think? Let me grab it. So we're also working on a fat quarter organizer for organizing your, what do we call this? Quilting fabrics, fat quarter quilting fabrics. So this is these are 5-inch long boxes that connect together. So you can put 2 or 3 depending on the amount of space you have. They're lower profile, so you can put them in a drawer if you're using drawers to organize your fabrics, but just a super simple, easy, neat, tidy way to organize the different fabrics. So jelly rolls, different types of folds of fat quarters, a couple of rolls here. So what do you think? These boxes will be perfect for so many other things. One of the great things about the slide, stash, and store, these boxes in general, is that you can put them into a drawer or onto one of our carts and use them as drawer organizers or cart organizers as well. And like you've seen, I used mine to organize my Lois tote. Okay, I'm going to take a quick peek over here. Let's see what we've got. If I can. Kimberly Kate says, "Hi, Tiffany. What storage would you recommend for Gemini hot foils or Spellbinder glimmer foils?" Are you asking about the foils themselves or the equipment? So this is the 2-drawer slide, stash, and store, the smaller version. So there's a 12 by 12 version, and then there is this version. And not slide, stash, and store, the storage and supply case. So rolls fit well in here. And then in this side, I've used the pockets to hold the smaller rolls just because they're a little bit more delicate once you kind of open them up. And the pockets also, these are the 8x5 pockets. They also work well for the flat sheets of foil. So if you're looking for, depending on which size you're looking for, this is the 2-drawer storage and supply case, and this is the 9x12, the smaller set. So there's the 12x12 set, and then there's the smaller original set. If you are using something bigger, and again, accessibility and where you're storing your supplies. So this is the We Are foil, long foils. I think Heidi Swap does long foils. Definitely American Crafts long foils. Flat foil sheets in 12x12, hung up on something here, right? And different, like this is the mat for the foil. And then I've got my foil quill here in my little tubes. So depending on how you're accessing it and whether or not you're traveling with it, this is the vinyl roll organizer box. And of course I've got my foils in the vinyl roll organizer. Like once they're open, I've put them in the sleeves to keep them rolled up as well. So 2 different options there, depending on the size that you're looking for and the accessibility that you have or need or want in your craft room, right? So either in a bag. Now you can, these are the storage and supply cases as well, right? So you can leave them open on your shelf, label the front with your different foils. So if you're not traveling with them all the time, you can actually use them as drawer storage as well. Easy to pull in and out right off your shelf. So that's another option while you're working at home. Debbie's Crazy Crafts. I have my dies stored in the Karen bag, but need more than 1 bag. How do you know what die set is in which bag? You can either use a catalog, which makes it really simple. If you number everything and create a catalog, then it doesn't matter which bag they're in, because as you flip through the catalog and choose the die, it's going to tell you this is in, Karen bag number 2 or 1 or whatever it is. So that's probably, if your die collection is going to grow, I'm going to strongly recommend that you start a catalog and do it that way, because once you number things and catalog them, you no longer have to, the catalog is in order by theme, sentiment, holiday, but you don't have to worry about constantly rearranging where your supplies are stored. So there are a couple of really good blog posts and videos about how to catalog and what that means. It seems like it would be overwhelming, but it's really quite simple, especially if you only have 1 or 2 Karen bags. Right now is the time to do it. You'll be able to keep everything organized, find everything quickly, put things away quickly. So I would strongly recommend that. If you don't want to do a catalog, then I'm going to say organize your dies the same way I recommend organizing most things, which is using that 4-section system. So your alphabets are together, themes and sentiments are together, and then your holiday supplies are together. And then you might just end up labeling those bags at the end, themes and sentiments. Right, so I just inserted this colored piece of card, and then I put the labels on it. Now you can put your label maker or labels right on your buddy bag. They're just kind of hard to get off and they make a mess. So I just put this colored card in there, and then I'm able to add the labels. So if you're going to do it that way, you can use the, this is cards, not dies, but you can use something like our Shut Your Flap tabs to label each section in there as well. Like I said, again, alphabets, themes and sentiments, and holidays. So, but definitely, if you are using dies, stamps, stencils, punches, embossing folders, all those goodies, I would really suggest reading up on how to create the catalog, and then moving forward with a catalog, because you'll get so much more use. And I know there's several of you on today who could probably testify that the idea of doing the catalog was overwhelming, but once you get it done, it's easy to keep up with, and you're able to use more of your supplies. So if you think, oh, I'm going to use a Christmas die, and you go to your Christmas section, you're going to see that you have dies, stamps, stencils, embossing folders. Maybe they all work together. They came in a set and you forgot about them. Maybe you have an embossing folder that you completely forgot about that's going to work great with this die, or it's really going to help make that page or that card better, and you're going to see it. So catalogs, not only do they keep your supplies organized and accessible, they also kind of inspire your creativity and almost make it easy for you to use more of the supplies and the knowledge that you have. So I would strongly recommend the catalog. Okay. Janine Colson says, do glitter markers need to be stored flat, or should they be stored standing upright with the tip pointing downward? I think most glitter markers are single tip markers, and any single tip marker is best stored tip down. So if you've got double tips like these, then you want to store them flat. Usually, most of the time, the manufacturer is going to recommend, is going to have a recommendation on the packaging. So I guess there may be manufacturers who recommend something different than that. But in general, kind of a general rule, double tip markers flat, single tip markers tip down. That just keeps all the ink down at the tip. Kathy Planter said, what is the best buddy bag for the Gemini Mini die cut machine to carry to crops? You know, I have my Gemini Mini in a 5x7 fab file, not in a buddy bag. I'm not even sure we make a buddy bag that's big enough for this guy. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure we do, but this works great. It's durable. I got the mini in there. I've got the machine and a bunch of plates and the instructions. So it's easy to store on the shelf, easy to take with me, doesn't get hung up on anything. And it's pretty sturdy and durable. So even if it tips upside down, it's not gonna spill out. So I would go with the 5x7. Now that I say that, let's see. Oh, this is probably too narrow though for the machine. It might fit. This is the crazy Tuesday Live stuff, right? Oh, here's the other thing. I always put one of these in the bottom of the box because otherwise these fabulous suction cups are going to be sucked to the bottom of your box and it's kind of a pain to get out. So I always drop one of the plates in the bottom and then it's going to stick to the plate, but it's all going to come out of the box easily. So this is the 5x7 paper taker. You could do it. How cute is that? The only problem is the handle, which is kind of just popping out the top there. Yeah, but you could still fit a few plates in as well. Oh, the 5x7 paper taker on special today. Look at that. It's cute, isn't it? It's so cute. So 5x7 fab file or 5x7 paper taker, either one of them is going to be a good storage or transport for your Gemini Mini. Stick my thing back on there. This is always it, right? I make such a mess on Tuesdays. And I don't have Susie here to help me clean up today. All right. So I'm going to try and be tidy as we go along. Kind of a demonstration of how easy it is to clean up and put your things away, right? If you have them organized well. Okay, let's see. Jean Farney Mallet says, will slide session stores 10 inches be sold in sets or separately? They will be sold probably in a set and also separately, just like the big ones. Nelda Makovisky says, what would you suggest for storing gems, pearls, etc. that come on cards? It's an interesting question. I just had this discussion with Kimberly at Crafter's Companion. It depends on the size of the card. So, of course, all of that stuff for me is in my scrap rack. You could use the scrap rack pages and a 12x12 binder and just have them all in the binder in those scrap rack pages. And again, probably by color is how I'm going to sort them. But if you're looking for something more along the buddy bag line, I would say either the Katja. So this is the Katja buddy bag. And she has 4, it's easier to see from the bottom probably, 4 interior boxes. So if your cards are about this size, and I'm going to say this is like 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, then you're going to be able to create a little file of those cards in the Katja buddy bag. And I would go, and this is my OCD, I would go this direction so that you can literally file through the entire row of them rather than going the other direction with them. So the Katja buddy bag might be a great, again, I don't know this exact dimensions. I'm going to turn these this way. Yeah, it's going to be better this way, I think. But so Katja might be a great way to create that file. Also the Irene buddy bag. Now, the reason I like something like Katja with the 4 little boxes over Irene is because, these are all Irene, I'm trying to express my point, I guess. So, is because the 4 little boxes are going to keep everything straight up and down. If you just loaded the Irene buddy bag with all those little cards, and it wasn't full, then they're just going to kind of fall over. You're going to have to dig through. But the individual boxes of the Katcha make it really easy to keep smaller amounts of stuff straight up and down. So definitely Katcha or Irene. If they're the bigger cards than the Sue Buddy Bag, Sue or Denise. So smaller cards. So this is Denise. You can see she's got 3 boxes as well. So if they're bigger cards, Denise would be good with the divided sections, and Sue is a bigger bag without the divided sections. So if you tell me what size your cards are, I could probably answer that more specifically. Let's see. Gloria Jacques says, Tiffany, will the midi fit in the Kirsten Buddy Bag? Ooh, I don't know. So, no, I'm going to say no. So this is the midi right here. See how it's stuck to the bottom of my box? There we go. And this is Kirsten. Do I have an empty Kirsten? That would be a little bit yes, I do. Yeah, I don't think so. No. Well, kind of. Your handle would have to be on the outside. I'm not sure how safe that is. The plate instructions for the midi will fit in there, but yeah, I think it's probably, I'm not sure how safe it is, especially because this is so much heavier. That's a lot of weight in the Kirsten, but I think this is the Big Bertha number 6 slide stash and store, which I have some other big tools in, my cinch, my button press, and that type of thing. So it works great for that. What do you store your various punches in? Shirley Baxter Mott. Oh, I have another question from you, Shirley, too. Oh, you asked about the acrylic paints. We already got to that. It just depends. I have some punches that I use all the time, and those are just standing up in a 4-level stadium arranger because I'm always accessing them. Other than that, I like the punch packs. So, and they're by size and they're cataloged. So this is the 1-inch punch pack, and these are, of course, all the small punches, and they're actually in the bag backwards. Well, right. So that would normally be the front of the bag, but they're backwards so I can see all of them, so the flap doesn't go around. So the 1-inch punch bag, there's a 1.5, and there's a 2-inch. So this is the 1.5 inch, and you can see I've got bigger punches in there. The flat punch, there's so many choices in punches, right? The flat type that lock down fit perfectly in the Barbara Buddy Bag. You can kind of stack them up. So if you use a lot of those, a Barbara's a good choice. Yeah, it just depends on, and I thought I had a 2-inch in here somewhere with really big punches in it. I might have taken it to craft class, our last class. We were using some punches. I don't see it right here, but so the store and go bags that are just big open trays work great for that. I think right now we only have the 2-inch in stock, but as you know, scrapbook.com carries all of our products. So they will have, if we're in stock in the US warehouse, they'll have all 3 sizes, the 1, the 1.5, and the 2-inch store and go bags, punch packs. We used to call them, now they're called store and go bags, but that's a great solution. Again, unless you have open shelving, and then you can use something like the 4-level stadium arranger, which I don't have one on my shelf right now. And that works well for lots of different punches. Again, except the ones that are super thick because they don't fit in there. So that's always the challenge with punches. Carrie Walker Evans says, I'd like to store my Tim Holtz stencils with all my other supplies in my scrap rack, but can't find pages that work well. What can you suggest? Create your own pages. Oh, so it's really easy with the Fuse tool, which is made by We Are. And I sent Leanne a link to the blog post and to the fuse tool, which is available at scrapbook.com. It's really easy to create scrap rack pages that are specific to what you want if you just have that heat tool. Now, before I had the fuse tool, I used another heat tool, and I think it might have been for wood burning. And you have to put it on low heat, right? You definitely want to practice, but there is a video and a blog post where I literally go it's really easy to do. You just have to think through where your flaps are going to be and how you want the flaps, how big the flaps are and how big the pockets are before you start creating the pockets. You want to do the flaps first, and all of that is covered in the video and the blog post. So Leanne will put up a link to it in the feed if I send it to her. If not, we'll put it up after. And you can also just go to totallytiffany.com, click on blog, and then search customize. And I think the second blog post that it pulls up will be how to customize scrap rack pages. Makes it really simple to customize those. And yeah, the fuse tool works great. I mean, that is literally what it is designed for sealing plastic together. So it's kind of the seal-a-meal of the craft world, but you can totally do any customization that you prefer. Let's see. Kimberly Cade says, I love the flip and storage binder for organizing my die cuts for my cards. I can't find refill pages for the binder. Do you still make them, or have they been converted to scrap rack pages? We do not. My only best suggestion to you is pick up another binder if you need more pages, and then you can move the pages around. But we no longer make the refill pages for the flip and. Oh, I'm assuming that we do make the flip and storage pages for the scrap rack. So they're still available in the 12 by 12 configuration for the scrap rack. But the flip and storage binder, the small one, we do not make the extra pages for that. Now, you can create a flip and storage binder by using the 12 by 12 plastic zipper binder and some of the big 12 by 12 flip and storage pages also, if you want to do that, but they're a little bit different configuration. And I think what you're talking about, which is the smaller ones that flip up, the bigger ones flip to the side. So hopefully that makes sense. Nelda says, I'm using Stampin' Up! Gem pearls on the larger cards. So if they're larger, they're probably going to fit best in the Denise Buddy bag. But if somebody out there is a Stampin' Up! Rep and they know the dimensions of those pearl cards, if you can let us know, that would be awesome. And then I'll confirm that. Let's see. Oh, Charlene Costello Wellborn asked last time I was on, can you please finish telling us the difference between Lois and Cindy? So apparently it sounds like not uncommon in my little brain that I started talking about the differences between the two bags and then got sidetracked. So let me grab one of each from my shelf here. And, well, not shelf, it's more of a rack. Okay. So, too many things already. So this is the Lois tote. And Lois and Cindy are the same basic dimensions. Lois has a small interior hanging pocket on this side and a large interior pocket on this side that's clear, so it's hard to see. But basically the dimensions are the same. The drop on the shoulder strap is the same, okay? So the Lois, which is probably one of our best-selling products of all time. I know lots of you have more than one because she's so functional. So we upgraded her, if you will, with the Cindy tote. So the Cindy, same dimensions, right? Same canvas bottom, same plastic insert in the bottom. All those things are the same. So Cindy has the long pocket. Well, this side, I think. So this is the long pocket on the Cindy. That is affixed to the inside. There's another long pocket on the Cindy, but that is part of the top if you want to use it as a top. So the Cindy then has the zipper. Without my glasses on, if I can zip without glasses, we'll see. We're going to find out. Yes. So the Cindy has this zipper top. So if you're trying to protect whatever's inside there, You can, or you just want to keep things inside there in case they spill over in your car. The Cindy has a zipper top. And in that case, this pocket becomes a pocket on the very top. So, and if not, if when you unzip it, again with no glasses, that top drops in and now it's a pocket on the inside. So that is one of the differences in Cindy. The other difference is this end is a canvas pocket. This end is a clear pocket. And then last but not least is the Cindy has this padded shoulder strap piece. So, and it moves up and down the shoulder strap and it comes undone. So if you want to put both straps inside of it, you can do that, or you can use it just on one strap. So those are the main differences. Padded shoulder strap, zipper top, and then the two pockets on the outside are the two differences between the Lois and the Cindy. So just depending on what you're using her for and how you're using her, one is going to be better than the other. Probably my favorite use, other than the fact that I'm hauling all my paints around in a Lois tote, for Lois is the bag that I keep in my car. So when I'm shopping, I can throw all the other little bags into that, like at the grocery store, all that slippery little stuff. Or it also carries a Costco chicken perfectly, and it stays flat because the plastic in the bottom of the bag. So there it is. Those are the two things. Ooh, I stayed focused. I'm very proud of myself. Okay, Janet Blaisdell says, what are the sizes for the slide stash and store bags? I'm not sure if you're talking about the slide stash and store boxes or the storage and supply case bags. So I'm going to ask Barb Carlson, because I saw that you're on today. Barb, can you post up a link to the slide stash and store product grid that gives all the sizes for the different slide stash and store? And then with the storage and supply cases, there are two versions. There's a 12 by 12 version, and then there's the smaller, what works out to be 9 by 12 version. And they both have multiple configurations of inserts. So if you just go to the storage and supply case page on the website, it'll have all the dimensions for each one there. I don't think there's a product grid for those, but if there is, Barbara Carlson will know about it. And if there is, Barb, can you please post that as well? Look, that answered for you. Kathy Brown Zettler says, anticipating a move across the country, what's the best way to pack my scrap rack? Woo-woo. You are absolutely going to love moving your scrap rack because it's so easy. When I moved here, when my sister moved from LA to Italy, we just got big totes. So the dividers in the scrap rack, I think, are 13 by 13. Trying to remember, they might be a little bit longer. So as long as you get a tote that's 13 by 13, then you just pull the spinders off your scrap rack and literally stand them up in the tote. So you don't have to lay everything flat. You just stand it up. And I went spinder reverse, spinder this side, right? But those dividers are going to give your pages this stability. Fold your scrap rack flat, throw that in the box, put your wings in, and you've got your whole scrap rack packed up and ready to go. It'll take you 2 seconds to put it back up when you get to your new home, when you're ready to craft again. It is definitely one of the most amazing things about the scrap rack system, how easy it is to move around. So stand it up in a tote. There might even be a blog post about it, but I think the key is just getting a tote that's big enough. And remember, they don't necessarily have to go this way in the tote. They could go this way too. So as long as the tote's got that 13 by 13 somewhere, you're going to be able to stand them up. You're going to love it. Super, super easy. Okay, let's see. Is that all the questions that I have printed out here? Let me think. Oh, remember, we do a giveaway. So if you haven't added a comment, asked a question, said hello, tell us where you're from, what your favorite Totally Tiffany product is, you can't be in the drawing because Leanne throws all the names for everybody who's commented during a live into a drawing, pulls one out, and somebody wins a $25 Totally Tiffany gift certificate. So make sure that you have commented so that you can get into that mix. Kimberly, oh shoot, that was flip and storage binder. All right, have I got, Let's see. Carlotta Ewing says, Barb C, thanks so much for posting everything. Oh, the feed is going way too fast. Barb, you're such a rock star. I'm so glad that you're part of our group. Lisa says, love the scrap rack. I have 3, but I need spiders. Look at scrapbook.com. I think they have them in stock right now. I love Lois and Cindy. Okay, I think I got all the questions, right? I have 2 Lois's, but need to add a Cindy tote. Love the idea of the zipper top. The zipper top is super handy if you're afraid of something tipping over, and or if you live somewhere like Seattle where it rains all the time, which is where I came from, then it's super handy to have that. But it also keeps, if there's a risk that something's going to topple over, it's going to keep things in place as well. Let's see. Angie, wow, woohoo, I actually made it for live instead of watching it. Woohoo. I'm so glad that you're here with us, Angie. I love Tuesday. It's my favorite day. I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed any other questions here as we go along. Leanne did post up the special for today. I see that in the feed. So if you go along the feed, you'll be able to see that. So Leanne, our sidekick Leanne, her last name is Kopetsky. So even if you search her name in the feed, I think you can do that. You'll be able to find the links that she's posted up as well. And then we'll try to post them one last time, I guess. That's probably a good idea. I don't see any more questions. So Carolyn Joyce says, hi from Colorado Springs. Finally got the extra shelves I needed in my craft room. Woo! And looking forward to organizing with the Tiffany storage I've ordered since I moved. Way to go. I hope you'll post up some pictures. Boy, you know, there was a couple of posts today, and I try to write down people's names as I go through that were really great in the Get Organized Challenge. So if you're not part of the Get Organized Challenge group or page, actually it's called Get Organized with Totally Tiffany now, you definitely want to join that group because everybody shares in that group the challenges that they're having and the successes that they're having. And it's really fun. It's fun to see other people's craft room and how they're doing it and how they're using things and get different ideas. So if you're not part of the Get Organized with Totally Tiffany group, I hope you'll join that group. It's just a great place to share and see information. And it's different. Like the Totally Tiffany page is a lot about product and what's available and how to use it and that type of thing. And the Get Organized with Totally Tiffany is a lot more about the method for actually getting organized. So if you're not part of both pages, if you're not following Totally Tiffany, please do that for more product information, and Get Organized with Totally Tiffany for more how-to information. Yes, that's a good way to put it. All right, everybody. I think that's it for questions, right? So I'm going to take one more cruise through the feed here. Let's see. Donna Meyer says, I purged 5 inches of paper over the weekend and made craft boxes for my daughters. Woo! When they probably love, and I am much happier in my craft room. Okay, I'm going to share one other thing, personal story with you, because we're getting close to holiday time. And this reminded me. So good job purging and sharing, Donna. Okay, when I was a kid for Christmas, one of the things that my mother put together for us every year at Christmas was what she called an art box. And it was nothing fancy. It was literally like a brown cardboard box and probably reused from something else, right? The box itself wasn't fancy. But inside the box were markers and glue and construction paper and scissors. And it was one of my favorite things. We didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid. And so I'm sure like whatever the dollar store version of those things was at the time, that's what we got. But every year, I don't remember if my brother got one. I know my sister did, but I think all 3 of us got them. And it was like the highlight. We knew we were getting it. It was something we got every year, but it was a great gift. So if you have young people in your life, putting together an art box as a Christmas gift, I mean, you could do something more fancy. You could give them a Totally Tiffany 12 by 12 paper taker loaded up with all the supplies, or something like that, or maybe a craft and carry workstation. I guess I should be trying to market product. But for us, it was just a brown cardboard box, and it was just loaded with all the different craft supplies, probably from the dollar store, and we loved it every year. So if you're thinking about craft, about kid gifts for the holidays, that was my favorite. Okay, my thing's freaking. Kay Gott says, what are the containers called behind you? Your right side top shelf. What size do they come in? Right side top shelf. So if you're talking about these, Kay, these are the paper takers. And these are on sale today. So they come in 12 by 12. It comes in 8.5 by 11. But we're out of stock on that. 8 by 8. 6 by 6. So the 6 by 6 also fits the longer, like tri-blend markers, and again can be stored this way, so you're storing them flat. And then 5 by 7. So this one is loaded with our 5 by 7 pockets and magnets, but of course it's going to work for 5 by 7 cards, 5 by 7 envelopes, that type of thing. And all of these are on sale today as well. So I know Leanne's put up a couple links, but all the paper takers and all the paper handlers and pockets are on sale. Now, the 6 by 6 pockets for the paper handlers do fit the 6 by 6 paper taker, and the 12 by 12 pockets for the paper handlers do fit the 12 by 12 paper taker as well. And those are all on sale. All 3 of these pocket sizes, all 5 of these paper taker sizes are on sale today. And we have put up a couple links, but we'll try to get a couple more up. But they're super. So, and then of course, this is the 8A4, 8.5 by 11. Well, but it's out of stock. So I do think they have it at scrapbook.com though. So if you're shopping in the scrapbook.com ships all over the country, all over the world, I guess. So either way, but this is what you're talking about, they're on special. Now, you might also be talking about these, because you guys can't even see that, can you? Oh, the container's called behind you on your right side, top shelf. So if you're looking at these are the slide stash and store containers. Although this is I don't know what you're seeing in reverse, right? This is what I'm calling my left side, my right side. But if I turn around, it's reverse. So these are slide stash and store. There is a section on the website for slide stash and store, and they come in 6 different sizes. That's what all of these are. They're all slide stash and store. So are these. These are buddy bags, if that's what you're depending right, left. If you have time, Kay, let me know. Post up again and tell me more which side, which things. Liz Koch says, when is the next GOC? We do not have it on the schedule, which probably means it's going to be early next year, I'm guessing. I will follow up with the powers that be about scheduling those type of things and see if I can get you an answer before next week. Okay, so Kay, if you have another more specific question about which side, I'm happy to answer that. Barbara just posted up the slide stash and store product grid, so if you're looking for information on that. Gail Umbach says, will you be on HSN? Oh, so there is a HSN craft day on the 4th. I don't know if I'm going to be on or not yet. They haven't given me a schedule for that day. I think that the Totally Tiffany products that'll be available on that day, I think that's the HSN launch of the 12 by 12 storage and supply cases. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be airing them or if someone else from Crafters Companion is going to be airing them. I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted. Okay, I think that's it. I think I got all the questions. And okay, perfect. I think that's it. Okay, so winner of the $25 gift certificate this week is Marlene Squires Kate. Marlene, congratulations. If you have a Club Inspire account, you're going to be in great shape. If you don't, please go to the website and sign up for Club Inspire, and then send an email to prizes@crafterscompanion.com. That's prizes with an S @crafterscompanion.com. And let them know that you are the $25 gift certificate winner this week, and they will get that set up for you in your Club Inspire account. All right, my friends, remember every Sunday, Monday, we put up a post reminding you about Tuesday Live. If you have a question, you can add it in the comment section there if it pops into your head, or you can ask in the feed as well during Tuesday Live. Sometimes the feed goes so fast that we lose questions. I try to go back and find them and answer them if I can. But if you post in that comment on the little post, the reminder post, I always go there. That's where I got all of these questions today, and download the questions so I can answer them live as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in today. I will see all of you next Tuesday. Have a great one. Oh, I have to put them on.